Hey guys, YouTube. Um, Tomorrow is the 4th of July, the anniversary of um, our founding fathers telling King George to take his private central banks and his interests and stick it up his bum. Anyway, um, yeah, 4th of July, whippy, independence, and we're full circle back into tyranny. Isn't that funny? Anyway, happy 4th, good times. This is supposed to be a drone video, dude. Okay, new additions, AOSENMA, CGO 35. So far, flown it twice or once and a half. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. I thought this bird was a dog about a year ago, and I was proud of myself for turning my back on it. You know, back then it was barely coming out GPS. I think it was basically started out as one of the brushless motored $100 class drones. I was actually putting this in this category of the X16. This is long before we even knew that Bugs 3 was going to come out. Anyway, I read so many bad reviews. I really thought it was a pretty looking, attractive quad that happened to be a paperweight or a dog. But looking at other videos, especially a guy, I think J Drone, his enjoyment of the AOSENMA really kind of pushed it over the top. Then the price dropped, and I was like, yeah, man, I really want to try it. Plus, the curiosity is killing me because I really, really wanted to see how it fares next to the 501S and the Hornet S. And once again, this is before we even knew that MJX was going to be in the GPS arena, let alone the $100 brushless motor arena. So yeah, I went and got it. Flown it twice so far. Feels really, really good. Kind of scared at first because of the shape is so reminiscent of the JJRC X1 shuttle. You tend to get a little trigger shy, throttle shy, because looking at that shape, reminding you of that awful, awful dog of a flyer, the X1, you tend not to want to bank or anything because you're thinking it's just going to wobble and die, and then it ends up hitting the curve and flying. It's a little premature right now, but I would almost say that this thing aerodynamically probably handles the air maybe better than the 501 or even the Hornet while it's in altitude hold mode. In other words, if a bird is going to be taken out of GPS mode and flown a little bit more aggressively, I think this bird probably will control better than the 501S or the Hornet. Truth be told, my Hornet's not running right now, but if and when I do get it back up, I rarely will put it into manual mode, if it goes into manual mode. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it in mode 2. And it's fast for me in mode 2. Not super fast, but fast enough. Because I'm really, really, really getting into the distance thing, man. I love seeing it, a lot further away. Okay, we're talking about the AOSENMA. I'm not a fan of cameras, and certainly not a fan of FPV when it comes with the quad. If it's not like, you know, Hubsan or Phantom quality, even though, you know, people have their issues with Hubsan. But the price was so low, I got it with the FPV janky camera. And my camera does not work. But I'm not tripping right now. Anyway, I just wanted to show you, God, I'm so long-winded. If you get the camera version with the TV, when you put the monitor on, the monitor sits very, very low, almost near the switches. And if you move the wrong way, it could actually even fall off or fall and get in the way of your switches or hit the switches. Okay, not comfortable at all. To remedy that, you take the telephone clip bracket mount. You heat it up a little bit and you bend it backwards to your liking. I bent mine, I don't know if you can see this, I bent mine, I'm closing my eyes like it's going to make the camera view better. Isn't that stupid? Anyway, I bent my phone clip monitor holder back this far, and I think it's perfect. You can sit it down. Of course it won't stand up, but you can sit it down, and when you hold it, it does not get anywhere near in the way of your switches. Okay, then after bending it, I pop it in place where I think I like it, and I put some glue of your choice. Right now I'm trying this new, some other kind of resin type epoxy mixture stuff. It's really sloppy and I don't like it. But anyway, you put some glue in there and glue it in place, let it sit overnight, because you don't want this thing flopping all around. Okay, and that's a much better position, way more better. Plus, you know, the monitor slides in with this phone mount. Well, I raised my TV up, my monitor, because I don't want it all the way down, and I drew a border where I want it to stop, and I just put a little foam padding on the border and glued it there. So now it's in place, and this is how it looks. Although I don't do TV. If this thing worked, if the camera worked, I still would not have this monitor on there. But for those that do, this is a much better look, way more practical, way more doable. And if you don't want to take it with you, you can still pop the TV off. I mean, yeah, you know, you can even take the holder off. The only thing glued in place is the actual phone clip to the bracket. The bracket still comes off, but I think this is just a little. It's not really a mod. Well, it's a mod, but anyway, it's just a little adjustment. I think it's absolutely necessary because the way the TV was sitting before, it was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so enough for the AOSENMA. I'll deal with the TV camera issue later. I didn't think the mail was running today. This just came today. This is the another XK-X350. This is the one that was going to have these landing legs, a Walkera gimbal with a Mobius, and I wanted this for the 4th of July to assist in the other birds in trying to film the fireworks that's going to probably be going off tomorrow night. Why is this here? Oh, the reason why it's here is I don't want to put on the landing gear. I don't want to do the body reinforced mod until I know all the motors work and the thing can actually hover. So my next video will really be this thing probably hovering. The great news about this, I think it's one of the baddest quads in terms of one particular package with no camera, no frills, even though it is a stunt quadcopter. It goes upside down, it does inverted flight, it has the props that, you know, that are designed for flying upside down. It has a function on the throttle that lets you reverse the motion of the propeller. So literally you know what I'm talking about. You're in the stunts and crazy stuff, this thing does it. I'm not going there. I just want super flight, man, with no bells and whistles. And so this does it for me. I wish I had this years ago. But, you know, just like the AOSENMA, I sat on this a year ago because a lot of the issues I read about with the vibration. But now that I got it, I love it. This is XK number 3. You know the other one is my rat rod that's sitting on the DIY frame. It's a bad bird, man. To me, it's like the big brother of a Bugs 3. You know, the Bugs 3 has kind of really made me appreciate the XKX, believe it or not. Yeah, so I can't do any mods to this really until I know it's actually going to run. And if it runs, the first thing I'm going to do is the zipper tie reinforcement. Put 2 zipper ties right here in the corners, as tight as you possibly can. And once you zipper tie it, then I reinforce the zipper tie with a little bit of silicone glue right here on the top, going across the tie, and a little silicone glue on the bottom, which will keep the vibration of the actual bird from loosening these ties and sliding them up around the arm. See, they're zipper tied in place, but then they're glued on top of the zipper tie. And the bird can handle the weight. And believe it or not, it does cut down on a lot of vibration and a lot of noise, some of the grinding. Another reason all these are in the video tonight is because yesterday I took this up for a brief flight, and upon my landing it was making a really strange noise and started moving really, really funny, like real strange wobbly move, like, man, like maybe the body's flexing. It was weird. And so I didn't know if it was my imagination or whatever. And you know, I went home and was working on something else and charged the battery. Then I went back outside and just kind of took it up for a quick hover, and it made that noise again. So I landed it and went and got my other props. These are the 8-inch carbon fiber props that I actually purchased to put on my rat rod instead of the phantom props that are on there. But I never did it because I really did want to try the phantom props, even though they're old and dirty, and I literally had to take some scissors and cut the props. I didn't measure them or anything. I just cut them eyesight. I really like the way those big props look on that 330 frame. It just gives it a mean, crazy look. And so I never did put on the carbon fiber props. So I was like, okay, well, let me try the carbon fibers on the XK that's making all the noise and flying really funny. And so I put the props on. I took it outside last night, and man, all the noise was gone again. Like, it's not quiet. It's not as quiet as the rat rod, because that rat rod really is quiet compared to these XKs with the stock body, but a lot more quiet. It responded like the XK again. You know, wasn't wobbly, wasn't anything. So the props did it, man. My carbon fiber props, they sort of have a tarantula shape to them, whatever. My carbon fiber 8-inch props now are on this, my top mount bird XK. And yeah, so back to this one. I'm gonna stop the tape and find the little pin in the back and bind this to a remote, make sure it works, and then I'll go ahead and glue him up and let him sit till tomorrow. And I'll fly him. Oh, the Bugs 3, I had these tri-blades for a while, but I was short 2 prop nuts, so I never put them on. I had to order a whole nother set of prop nuts, and they came in today, so I put on my tri-blades on this Bugs 3. Speaking of Bugs 3, if anybody has a version 1 Bugs 3 and they want to sell it to me, I would love to buy it. I really like the Bugs 3. Everyone likes the Bugs 3. It's completely likable, lovable, probably the best quad of 2017. I just personally want the version 1 Bugs, not the version 2. Even if maybe you have a Bugs 3 and you crashed it and one of the arms is literally broken off, and now you just think it's like a, you don't want to repair it, or maybe it's just a parts quad. If it's the original Bugs 3 board, even if it's missing a motor or whatever, please hit me up. If you're living in the States and shipping isn't too much, I would love to buy it. I need a used Bugs 3 version 1, to just kind of do some tinkering with. I got some other ESCs and some other motors I want to try with it and put it on a 330 board. Okay? Alright, YouTube, I'm out. Hey, I'm back. Anyway, this is the X350 with the landing gear I was talking about. Pretty sturdy. This big blue thing on the bottom, that's a battery. It's just temporary because this is just some 35 milliamp hour Zippo batteries that I really sort of had as spares for the Traxxas. Yeah, I'm short of batteries. I got more XKs than I do batteries. Poor me. Anyway, yeah, here it is, man. I like it. Very cool. Take it out for a flight. Just imagine a gimbal there with a Mobius camera. That's what I'm shooting for. Peace out. Hey YouTube. I'm gonna go outside and try the XK really quick. Then I'm glue the arms with a little zipper tie reinforcements and let it sit overnight. But this is how it looks with the landing gear, and I'm like, man, kind of a staunch stance for a brutally beast. Bastion of bastionness. Alright, anyway, I'll turn the tape back on. I'm taping too much and not flying enough. I'll turn the tape back on when I idle her up. Oh, and I got some extra LEDs on her for night. I borrowed a couple. These 2 white ones usually go in the front of the other XK, but you don't even need 4 LEDs on these, just 2. But my landing gear does kind of cover up the standard LEDs, and the LEDs aren't, won't show up too much at night anyway with the little slits. But this is cool. Shut up now. Go outside and fly. Whoa, dude. Really? This first run of the XKX, the XK X350. Those are the stock lights. It's bound. It's got the landing gear on it. And we're going to turn on the aftermarkets. Come on, baby. focus on blues ain't working. That one's working. What's mine? Okay, blues ain't working. Moves on. One of the aftermarkets needs to be charged. Okay, so what are we doing here? Do not get caught up in there. First flight. Now this is without the reinforcements, so the motor ain't gonna take too much flex. I mean the body ain't gonna take too much flex. Holding with the landing gear and that big old battery. Don't forget, you got that weird ass battery up there, dog. Yawn alright, it's handling commands. I don't want to do much with it because it's a big old heavy bitch and it's got a battery that don't belong. That could die like in a second. And I don't mean get low, it'll just die. Ooh, it's a powerful beast, boy. Oh-de-do-de-do. No air brakes, no nothing. And those LEDs I talked about, watch the front. Hello. Oh, baby. Oh. First run, all the way from what, China? Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, then here. At a fraction of the cost, so I guess I am a trader. Hi, baby. Woo! They're loud. Powerful, though. Yeah. Hi, baby. Is that red for me? Okay, turn around. Nope, not for me. It's scary though, huh? Anytime you see that red. Oh man, when you have this fucking thing thundering towards you, dude, tell me it's not addictive. You know, it's weird. This makes the XK350 remind me of my Traxxas 80. Same size, brute force power, just no GPS. And no stupid restrictive geofence. Very first time touching down in Cali, all the way from Malaysia, Singapore, what else I say, Indonesia, India, Sichuan province. XK made a bad fucking quad, man. They just, I don't know why people slept on this in 2016. That fucking body, they get to doing all those fancy moves and that body get to falling apart. I don't know, just get another frame, man. The motor and ESC combination is like not to be played with. Yeah, fucking brute force, homie. 3-cell fucking power on command. It would be bad if the blue lights was working right now. Tomorrow will be a good night flight. You got to get a camera on this thing. Yeah, range, dog. That's that XK range, dog. Fucking patroller. Like it ain't shit. No panicking, no nothing. Just, look, dude, I got the power. Where you want to go? Bring her in, baby. We coming home. I still green, though. We still got flight time. And it's that fucked up battery. What's up with that? Come on now. Oh, Dito, that's really red. Okay, come on. We hear you, 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 we hear you. Come on, baby, come on, come on. Oh, she's scary out. Look at